Scott, dude, they finally had a partnered preview program go up, a showcase over at Xbox. Let us know what's ahead for the year to come and beyond. 14 games were showed in a tight span of about half an hour, Scott. Dude, it was on fire, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. I like the pacing of this one. I mean, there was a lot for me to be excited about along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it had a good mix. There's some, it started right on fire. And then it continued, and then there's about a midpoint. I was like, nope, this is where I check out. And I came back again, and then I bailed out again. So it's nice to see, right? Like, we always talk about how these showcases are set up for, okay, hopefully you like this game, this game, this game, but you're not going to be into this one, this one, and this one. So it helps them cater to everybody, right? So it's pretty cool. But opening it up, dude, Unknown 9 Awakening looked incredible. I'm like, what is this? Had my eyes. You play as this female character. And it honestly kind of reminded me a little bit of Prince of Persia. And I'm like, huh. Oh. And she kind of looked a little bit like Chloe from Uncharted. So all of a sudden I'm piecing these things together. I'm like, man, you got my eye on this one. Like I was pretty pumped to see this one coming. Summer 2024. So we were seeing some. No, did anything get an actual release date, or just this is the year kind of thing, right? I think there's a couple things that got a release date, but that was about it.
Only one or two items, yeah.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool in that one. That one hooked me. And then you get into Sleight of Hand. Sleight of Hand is a stealth game. Hard-boiled. You got notes here as a hard-boiled third-person stealth sim. Like, what is this? Hooked me. Here's the problem. Here comes the red flags, Scott. As I'm hooked, and I'm like this. She pulls up these cards and she's throwing cards. I'm like, man, what is this? This looks flipping awesome. It's all CG, dude. All of it was CG. Not one bit of gameplay, right? We get the press release. I jump in the press release. There is no gameplay shown whatsoever.
Oh no, okay, a little mysterious.
Very mysterious, right? So there's more to come on this one, obviously. One I'll be keeping my eyes on. Coming to Game Pass as well. I like that. Game Pass is there, dude. Looks cool. Why don't you take the next one? Because I know you're pumped with this one. This one looks.
I am
bananas, as you say it.
This game is bananas, as I noted in the notes here. But the Altars. Yeah. And that's coming to the S, X, and Windows, but also through Game Pass, and that has me again excited. But this is a game that reminds me of the vault full of Garys in Fallout. So Altars is this weird moving base, this fortress that you're living on, and you have to keep that going. But it's one character that's somewhat been cloned. So there's a million different versions of himself, different alter versions of him. Yep. And it seems so wacky that I like the kind of humor baked into that game already, right off the start. But it seems like it has a bunch of interesting problem solving in third person. Yeah. But then it kind of breaks into more of like a social management thing while you're trying to make your game work. I get kind of like a colony sim vibe out of it, but also third person action. Interesting.
I was watching it going, this is very interesting, right? It's this big sphere, like this big circle, sort of, like almost like a cylinder, really. And then within it is like this Fallout shelter setup inside of it. But
big mono wheel,
yeah, right. And then you bounce out of it to do some quests. But when you jump back in, you do your altars that then help you through the tasks. But they're all altered from your like thoughts and memories and processes of
different life choices.
Yeah, so consequences now play into effect of now you're divorced, so maybe if you would have done this, you would have done this better, and then you're doing this over here, and then all of a sudden this brings this tension that just kind of clashes. Oh man, I was like, wow, how did you come up with this? But it's 11-bit studios, which I absolutely adore. I love them. I think they are at a whole other level. I think they're a very unique developer and very, very fascinated to find out more when it comes to Game Pass and later. And then we get into Creatures of Ava. Dude, another third-person action adventure. Very, very cool. Some fantastical beasts as you have here, right? The reveal trailer, very gameplay-centric, right? We got the chunks of the gameplay there, which looks cool. And then, Scott, this is when I start to taper off. I'm like, okay, now I'm about to bounce. Roblox came in, not for me. Roblox Chucky. I'm like, all right, cool. So if you're a creator, you can go in and create your stuff for Roblox. They created the Chucky version, brought that over here to the platform. Unique, very cool. I'm just not a Roblox fan whatsoever.
No, I'm trying to think of the name of what I did play in Roblox one time. It was some sort of social deduction game, but I'm not sure if Chucky really is gonna be enough to bring me or many people back. But kids play in Roblox all day in, day out. Again, that's a little strange though, because kids plus Chucky doesn't seem like a good match to me.
That's not a friendly match.
It's there for somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. The Sinking City 2 coming to Xbox, Series X and S, as well as PlayStation 5. Just a heads up and a note on that one. Sinking City 2, they were fighting for that IP, so it's nice that they were able to take that and now branch into the sequel, which will, man, does it ever look different than the first one?
Yeah, they're similar vibes, but the first one was kind of slow, and I'm wondering how they're gonna alter the game from that. I wasn't sure if number 1 had been that successful even to warrant a number 2, but
it looks bizarre.
It clearly was.
Yeah, and then Stalker Legend of the Zone trilogy is coming, which is an interesting one. That one's shadow dropped, so that's available now. Monster Jam Showdown. Scott, you were excited for this one. Xbox Series X, S, and the One? Really?
Yes, this one reminds me of Four Wheel Thunder. At least I think it was called Four Wheel Thunder on Dreamcast. I was like 10 years old at my neighbor's house playing that all the time. And this one just gave me immediate flashbacks to that game.
Pretty cool.
I'm excited.
Persona 3 Reloaded, Expansion Pass, Xbox One, Windows, Game Pass, Alt. It's all there for everybody. I'm just not a Persona fan. Dude,
if you've hit the end of Persona 3, which is already incredible, there's more game for you, believe it or not.
Yeah. The first Berserker, Kazan, I think that would look cool. Like, this one, like, I don't know if it's really for me, but I'm thinking back in my mind going, Scott, Steve, this is maybe something you guys would dig. How did you feel about this one?
It looked like it's going to be difficult. It had that Souls-like combat to it, and I'm thinking, okay, this is familiar but new. This is the right way to branch into Eastern mythology. Yeah. So there's a huge amount of, I think I noted in here, dragons, yes. A little blend of Western and Eastern fantasy, because everything's really dark and kind of like castle-looking, so it's got that Western influence, but dragons.
Very interesting for sure. Tales of Kanzero. Zau looks cool. It's a 2D action platformer, ability based Metroidvania elements. Scott, you and I are all over that, right? Like, we are hot on this right now, aren't we?
Absolutely. I'm really fired up when it comes to 2D open world games, and when it has ability based kind of unlocking of the map, that's a Metroidvania. I'm in.
Yeah, and then Frostpunk 2, again, another 11-bit studios gig, right? So I'm all in. I like Frostpunk 1 was very, very challenging. Now we're getting into the sequel, and I want to see how that changes up things. Coming to PC, Windows PC, and Game Pass. Dude, sick. Absolutely sick.
I downloaded number 1 immediately upon seeing this one. I thought, oh yeah, I loved Frostpunk 1. Some really tough decisions to make in that game, and it makes you really think.
Oh, sure
it's
does.
Brutal.
Oh, it is gut-wrenching, right? Like, it is, yeah, it is intense, for sure. Man, this Final Fantasy 14 online, not for me. There's just a time sink there that I just do not have time for. But yeah, so that one's out. And then Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess. I'm watching this thing and going, I don't even know what I'm watching right now. Like, looks like some tower defense stuff going on, and just a bunch of hack and slash stuff. And I'm just, man, it's colorful, it's bright, and it is quirky. I don't know. You on that one? You can check it out at all?
I am curious to see how the blend of combat's going to work here, because it's reminding me of what was the game that we played just recently, the Monster Hunter kind of game with Darren.
Oh,
do you recall
I just
that
saw
one?
That Wild Hearts. Yeah.
Wild Hearts, thank you. I couldn't remember. Yeah. Everwild was overriding that memory, but it kind of reminds me of that, where you can slap down a tower real quick and kind of defend. And I think that classifies it as RTS elements in the same way that this game is hoping to.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how that one lands. I don't think it's going to be for everybody. I know when I'm watching it, I'm like, no, not for me.
I had to note, extremely Japanese influenced, and that might push away some of the Western audiences.
Yeah, no, for sure. All in all, though, Scott, what do you think of the showcase, the partner preview program that's going to be happening here? What we saw yesterday, I thought was a good, solid introduction to what we're going to get this year and beyond. I liked it. I thought it was, as I said, started off real hot, got a little cold in the middle, picked back up, and then kind of fizzled off for me. But all in all, I really did like it.
Oh, that was a jam-packed half hour. 14 games in 30 minutes was a good amount of pacing. And it stepped quickly through, even if you weren't super happy about Roblox like myself. Yeah. It was quickly on to the next one anyways. So that was nice. And it had a lot that spoke to me. So I'm very excited for Xbox now.
Nice.
And I'm very glad to have Game Pass. I'm going to make sure I have that active now because there's a couple good hits on here.